What's up, Facebook? What's going on, YouTubes? Me and Billy Ratliff, we're back. We're here to talk about the South Carolina-Tennessee game at Neyland Stadium. Let me ask you a question, Billy.
Talk to me.
You know what a Gamecock is?
Hey, I know what it is, man. Do you know what a Gamecock is, Bobby?
It's a freaking chicken. What year did Philip Fulmer do that in front of them?
Oh, man. I'm trying to remember, man. I think that was, I want to say it was 97.
97. Now, T. Martin had a pretty good year against the Gamecocks where he was like perfect. Was it like 25 for 25 or 28 for 28? What year was that? Was that 98 or 99?
That would have been 98.
98. Yep, I remember that. He was on fire that game.
I mean, missing nothing.
He could have thrown a pass blindfolded and somebody would have caught it.
Oh, he would have, man, because those receivers he had, man, they was doing their best not to drop a ball, and then that's when David Martin dropped the ball.
Were they using Stickum in that game? Can you use Stickum in college? Remember the old days?
I remember the Stickum. I don't know if they can use that or not. I don't think so. Because with the gloves now, they're pretty much stick them in the gloves because of the way the material is made. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've got a lot to talk about this game. There's a lot of unknowns. We don't know what's going on with our quarterback. I would imagine Jarrett Guarantano is going to get the start. The word is Maurer is going to UT. I don't know if it's just for a checkup, but, I mean, going to Vanderbilt, and you don't travel that far unless they think something is serious to go to Vanderbilt to get checked out for them concussions. I don't see any way that he plays this Saturday. Do you?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's worth it, especially if it is for the concussions, which I think that's what it is, like you said. I mean, he's going to Vanderbilt. It has to be pretty serious, and they just want to make sure, it's not more than what it really is. You got to always be cautious about any type of injury like that whatsoever, because you're talking about the brain. So you don't want the kid to end his life over something with football when it's not worth it.
Absolutely. It's just one of those things. It's a dangerous sport, and concussions are no joke. I suffered one about this time last year. It was a pretty bad one. I was out about 15 minutes, and I'm still feeling the effects from that a year later. So he needs to get checked out, and don't rush it. Prayers for Brian Maurer and his family, that everybody makes the right decisions in that regard. But the other quarterback, I wanted to address something that we talked about in our last video about Jeremy Pruitt grabbing Guarantano's face mask.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to clarify. I really don't have a problem with it per se. When I saw it, my gut reaction, that isn't a good look. That the media was going to take that, run with it, be a distraction, because that's all that's going to be going on the news for 2 or 3 days. We'll have to hear opposing fans talk about it. And that's the part of it that I probably don't like the most, is just a distraction. I don't think it was a malicious tug. It kind of looked like to me that he was walking away from Pruitt a little bit, and he wanted to become that way. I didn't think he yanked on it and went overboard. But you are on national television, and it just adds one more distraction to what we're trying to do. We're trying to put our team back on track, and anything like that could derail all the progress we've made. I heard that Trey Smith came out, defended Guarantano, and we all had a gut reaction to what we saw. None of us thought that the play was changed until word was that he might have changed the play, and then everybody became an expert and said, yeah, he changed the play. I saw Trey Smith pull. I don't know if he told the line hey, we're going to change to a quarterback sneak, even if he went against what the coach called. That happens all the time in football. When the quarterback sees something, if he sees it, but he's got to communicate it. And I don't know that anybody has come out and said, yeah, I heard him call sneak instead of run. I don't know that we'll ever know, but it's in the past. My Pee Wee coach, Billy, did a lot more than just grab my face mask with his one little index finger. And that's what I meant when I didn't like it. I didn't like it being broadcast on national television. But with these cameras these days, Billy, they can zoom in from the blimp and catch all this stuff. And when something like that happens, the cameras go to the coaches. I'm 100% in support of Jeremy Pruitt. I really think that he's starting to show that he can get this team together. He was amped up on the sideline, both in a positive manner. I saw we had one long run. He went down there. He was pretty excited. We had a good block and a good run. But that's what I wanted to clear up when I said I didn't like it. I just said it's a bad look based upon it just being a distraction. And it has been a distraction. Everybody's talking about it. Now, how much of that do you think is a distraction to the team? You've been in the locker room, how much of that do you think can be a distraction once it gets in the media? Are the players seeing this in the media and hearing it being talked about with social media? They didn't have that back in your day, Billy, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's being talked about. I mean, I'm quite sure Pruitt has killed that, turned that fire off with all that stuff. It's in the past. Even with the helmet tug, and that's like one play. It's over with. Move on. Get it out the way. And my perception of that situation with the tug, after watching it a couple of times, it wasn't even that much, though, man. It wasn't like he just grabbed his face mask and yanked him around and told him to get over here, anything like that. It was just a heat of a moment situation where he was PO'd. I mean, like he said, I
Yeah.
was pissed at the moment, you know.
Hmm.
And when people are saying that, Guarantano went rogue, he didn't go rogue. I mean, if he'd have scored a touchdown, everybody would have called him a hero. I mean, rogue is
Yeah.
is, is totally different when you talk about rogue. It's when the team don't trust you, they don't care about you. But when you saw what Trey Smith came out and defended this kid, man, they like this kid. He's had some bad situations happen with him this year. You know, I just remember, just 3-4 years ago, we was talking about this kid just like we're talking about the kid that's going to come in from Georgia. Like he was the
Hmm.
all this, all that when he announced it in Times Square and stuff. But it's just that we got to understand that this is only football. That was only one play. That situation happened. He fumbled. That fumble didn't cause that game. Yes, if we
Right.
would have scored, we probably would have had a chance to make it a better game and see what it. I would have loved to have seen what would have happened, but I'm not all about the if, wish, or if woulda, coulda things. This is football. This game is
Yeah.
won by yards and inches, and that didn't make that game. You know, the look. It wasn't a bad look as far as what he did because Garantano was going to do his job when he left the field of play. When you leave the field of play, it's not about listening to the head coach. It's about getting to the sideline to find out what we did wrong to get back on the field the next play. His job is
Hmm.
not to walk to the sideline and listen to Coach Pruitt. Now, if Coach Pruitt wanted to get his attention, that's just a heat of a moment time there. He's not used to stopping and listening to the head coach. You don't.
Hmm.
That's not your job. You're supposed to go straight to the bench, to the phone, and listen to the offensive coordinator or talk to him and see what we did wrong to get ready for the next series. So
Yeah.
I understand the whole yank of the face mask. I understand. I mean, I've been through it. I mean, I never had the opportunity to have my face mask yanked. I'm just glad it wasn't, a player that's not wanting his face mask yanked because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's some dogs that I played with. Coach Foreman would have did that to some of those guys. It wouldn't have went down like that, and and
Yeah.
and, and that's just a situation you gotta, you know who you pulling face masks like that because Coach Foreman told me something that I believed in, and it was that we're gonna teach and raise young men. And
Hmm.
when you're doing stuff like that, I mean, I'm not saying that was a bad situation, because if he would have pulled like a Ragnarok Thompson or Sean Ellis or Al Wilson or Pulis Price or those guys like that, Jamal Lewis, I mean, so many guys that he could have pulled their face masks like that, they wouldn't have liked that, because
Yeah,
they would have called it a disrespect. I'm not saying it is a disrespect, but there's a time and place for
yeah. Well, he's our quarterback. Jeremy Pruitt's our coach. I'm 1,000% behind our team. I really like the way we've been playing lately. I really thought, Billy, the way we played in the first half against Georgia, the way we played against Alabama, I really thought that was the type of play we were going to be playing all year long. For
it.
whatever reason, we weren't. It's behind us. Let's go take on these Coots. They had a loss at home against Florida. I believe it was 38-27, coming off of a humongous victory against Georgia in Athens. I just think that South Carolina is going to give us everything we can handle. They're a good team. That Helinski kid at quarterback, I think he's gritty and I think he's tough. They've got a lot of decent pieces over there, but I just think that Jeremy Pruitt has, like you said, squashed that distraction fire. And I tell you what, I bet you that practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today was probably some of their best practices they've had all year. What do you want to say about that?
Well, I mean, you got to say they are, man. Coach had them let these kids know that you just played the number one team in the country, and you gave them a run for their money. I guess their quarterback been out, but hey, our quarterback went out too. And practice this week should have been more of like, you know what, we can play together, guys. You know what I'm saying? We are a team. There's no such thing as, I put it on social media today. There's no such thing as an I in team. There's no
Yeah,
we can't say that the reason why we're 2-5 is because of Garrett Guarantano. No, it's not. We're 2-5 because our team has won 2 games and
that's right.
lost 5 games. you know. And
That's right.
today, when I saw the article with Trey Smith, was it yesterday? I don't know when it was, but I remember when I read it. And then when Trey Smith said that, I had been saying this all along. I can't wait till one of these guys step up and speak up for their quarterback.
Mhm.
No one has done this all season. Whether they like him or not, you got to speak up for your guy. And this is your quarterback. You're supposed to protect this guy. I don't care who it is. You protect him from the fans. You protect him from anybody that's trying to get in your quarterback's head. And I'm glad Trey finally did that. And that's what we need. We need that leader like that. We need Trey. I mean, it's time. It's been time for a guy like that to speak up. I don't know if coach
Yeah.
is keeping these guys on the hush, but we need that. And practice this week, that's what we had this week. I guarantee you. Trey out there was
Yeah.
playing in them orange britches. I guarantee you they was out there getting ready. They know what it is at stake this week when they go and play the Gamecocks, because this is the beginning of their season now. These next
Bill,
few games is just going to make and break their season.
absolutely. Billy, we've let South Carolina off the hook the last 2
Oh,
seasons.
yes.
Butch's last year, we had them down we were first and goal from inside the 5. I had a couple of penalties and didn't score, and they won the game. We ran out of gas on defense last year in Columbia. It ain't going to happen again this year. Now, right after the game, when we did our post-game show, right after the game, you gave the offensive line a letter grade of F. You had time to think about it on Sunday. You said, all right, I've had time to watch a few plays. I give them a B minus. So we've kind of analyzed the offensive line. What I want to know, and I think the most important part of this team right now, as far as improvement and maturation, is that defensive front 7. What have you seen over the last 2 or 3 games out of our line and our linebacker core? What are you seeing?
I've been watching a lot of good, alignment and they're doing their assignments. They're doing what they're supposed to do. I'm seeing 11 guys trying to get to the ball. I don't see anybody half stepping. I'm seeing guys that want to try to make plays. I saw some plays where these guys was pushing Alabama offensive line up the field. You know,
Yes.
we're getting sacks. We got tackled for losses. It's something we didn't see these first few weeks of the year. We didn't see that. The stats for the defensive lineman wasn't there. And we're getting this stuff done with, some of our guys out, with Henry, he had to sit out a half. And I'm not sure if Pruitt got to sit out the first half of this game or not. I'm not sure how it works. I think, because I don't understand that when they get ejected. What time of the game and all this here? Was it the first quarter? Do they not play the second and third quarter or whatever? I'm not sure how it works. So I'm not sure if they don't play into the second quarter of this game or what. But as long as we got these guys in the game, Bobby, I think this defense can set the tone this week and give our offense a chance to make a lot more plays, and then that's the key to defense is getting off the field, 3 and outs, CMT, create more turnovers, opportunities that's what they help our guys, that's what made this game a lot closer than what it was because, don't get me wrong, that score could have been a lot worse, but the defense kept those guys in that game last week.
Absolutely. And the way I hear that targeting call, this is the way I understand it. I could be wrong. If you get called in the first half, you're out the rest of the game. But if you get called for that targeting and you're ejected in the second half, you also miss the first half of the next game. Maybe somebody in the comment section comment down there and tell me if that's correct. But one of the things that kept hurting us were stupid penalties, that we let a few tackles that we couldn't make get away from us against Alabama. That personal foul on the quarterback where he was pushing. We can't help out the other team. We've got to keep her cool. Now, I'm still upset about that call. That should not have been a flag, but we got to remember, let's not even give them anything questionable because we've got to be tight these last few games of the season. Gotta be.
Yes.
What do we got? 5 more games left. I still think we can make a bowl game, Billy. I really think we can, but we've got to play mistake free. We've got to win the turnover battle. We got to block for our running backs. We got to do everything right, and I know that we can do it. I know the guys are working hard. I really like to see how our offensive line, it's just been getting better a little bit each week. Our defensive front seven, there's been times in the game I didn't see the push upfield, getting in the backfield like we're used to seeing back in your day. But I think that's just coming down to just good old-fashioned recruits, and we don't have the horses right now. But, Billy, we're getting the horses. Pruitt said we need more big trucks. We're starting to get those big trucks, and I'm behind this team, and I just think we're going to win this game. I really do, Billy. Really do.
Well, Bobby, I'm with you, man. There's no reason why we can't win this game. With the competition we'll play. South Carolina coming in here. Like I said, there's not going to be one team that come to Neyland Stadium that don't think they can beat Tennessee. Tennessee right now is what I keep saying. They're everybody's stat team. They're all going to be thinking they can come in here and run the scoreboard up or get the tackles for loss or the sacks and stuff. These are the type of teams that when I played, I called them the stat team. And this is the time of the year right now that Tennessee is 2-5. They have 5 games left, and they need 4 of these games to get bowl eligible. But I think they need all 5 to get a legit bowl game that can secure them a bowl game, because 6-6 don't guarantee you to get a bowl game, because there's a lot of bowls out there, but there's I don't think Tennessee is flashy or pretty enough for a bowl to say, hey, we'd love to have you here because we know you're going to bring a lot of fans.
Yeah. Well, Billy, back in 98, there were 2 things I thought I'd never, ever, ever see or hear. Number one is that I would be partnered with number 40, Billy Ratliff. 20 years later on Volunteer Roadshow, and we'd be doing this. Number two is I never ever thought that Tennessee would become that stat game for our opponents. I never ever thought that would ever be possible. Did you?
Bobby, I agree with you, man, because I never thought I would be in this situation right now, talking, speaking like this. Because I'm typically to myself, I don't talk a lot. And for us the stat team, yes, I'd have never ever would have said that my volunteers would be considered that, or even considered even losing this many games right now. We supposed to
Yeah.
be a powerhouse right now, Bobby.
No, I know it. I just, you know what? I probably want this win, not just for the team and the fans, but you know who I want it for? I want it for Jarrett Guarantano. If he's starting at quarterback, man, that would just, I think that would do wonders for his confidence. I know he hasn't played well, but that's what we got right now. There's a lot of people calling for JT Stroud to start instead of Garantano. I don't think that's going to happen, not with this much on the line. And we'll just see. We'll just see who's starting. But whoever it is, I'm 1,000% behind them. 1,000%.
Well, Bobby, we know who it is. We know that he's going to start, and for him to actually start, that means the coaches trust him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that this is all that they have. No, it's not. They can go up there and find a walk-on. There's some more kids on that team. There's other quarterbacks we don't know about. But this is the kid that they trust. And if they trust him, that's all that matter. And no matter what I say, you say, our fans say, as long as this team's trust in each other, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Well, guys, we're going to get on out of here. I want to see in the comments, give me your prediction, the score prediction for the game. And if you got any questions for us to answer, maybe on our next video, you can put it in there. But we really appreciate you guys. We've grown an awful lot this year, more than I thought we would. And we're going to keep making it better. Check out volunteerroadshow.com. We are kicking butt on articles right now, Billy. In 3 days, we've got 22,000 clicks. Our Luke, Matt, Brandon, CJ, Dale, Darwin, Josh, all our guys are writing articles for us on VR2 on volunteerroadshow.com has been doing a fantastic job. Go check it out. But we're going to get on out of here. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Billy, I know what a Gamecock is. It's a freaking chicken.
Yes, sir.
I promise you that.
And we're going 5-0.